So I guess what we have here is a failure to communicate. All right, well, what I'm trying to say here is, ladies, us men kept trying to tell y'all to stop all this equality crap. Because whether y'all realize it or not, well, y'all do realize it because y'all use the crap to your advantage. But y'all have more rights and benefits in this country than men do. You just was greedy and want more and more and more. You want it all. Now we're starting to see this. Mom is keeping the kids away from dad for her own personal reasons instead of following through the courts. So what mom tried to do here is tried to say, well, he's been causing harm to the kids. I have to watch my words. I'll let them say it. I can't say it because I'm a guy, and we all know how social media is if we say certain words. Anyway, since y'all don't want to listen, I'm finna go ahead and play this video all the way through. I'm not going to interrupt it. Let's go ahead and get to it. Man, this is nice.
But the fact is that he does have opportunity or does have the right to take the child, pick up the child, and be involved in the schooling. He would have that right anyway pursuant to MCL 722.30.
Yes.
Ma'am, don't shake your head unless you know the law. The most recent motion, the plaintiff had contained in paragraph 17 of the motion various texts from you, in fact, demonstrate or showing that you do not have the intent to comply with the court orders in this matter.
I did return Bella for visitations with her father until she was abused by her father physically. She came home with cuts to her mouth that were confirmed by her pediatrician, and then that is when I stopped.
Okay. It's my understanding from reading the motion that the CPS was involved and they did not substantiate. Is that correct?
They were at the doctor's office when the doctor showed them and confirmed to them the cuts on our daughter's lips. However, whether they followed their protocol for child abuse or not, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, well, I can only assume, I don't know, but I assume that they followed their protocol as they're required to do. Well, I guess the main point is, are you in fact refusing to turn the child over to the plaintiff?
Well, as of right now, yes. The plaintiff, Mr. Back, has pled guilty to domestic violence, which occurred July 1st.
That's the only point I want to make today, Ms.
Okay.
Martinez.
Yep.
So we have a total of 63, it looks like.
Correct.
Is the total. Ms. Martinez, is that square with your understanding?
Yes. Yes, it is. I was just wondering if the court was going to go by its recommendations that anybody that had pled guilty to domestic violence should not have 50-50 custody of the minor child because...
We are enforcing the orders that are in existence at this time.
Is the court going to investigate because of the domestic violence?
Not investigate.
The FOC handbook said it.
Other agencies investigate. CPS investigates. The police investigate. The court does not investigate. The court will order that the child be turned over to him immediately, forthwith, and that he will have the child for the 63 days that he has been denied as make-up parenting time. As a result of your failing to turn over, as this court has ordered, the court is going to remand you to the Calhoun County Sheriff, where you will remain incarcerated until such time as the child is turned over to the plaintiff.
Okay.
So you can go with the deputy. I'll have the deputy take you. He can take you to the holding tank, and then we'll see that you're going to have to make your phone call and make sure that whoever, where the child is, that the child is turned over. But at this point, you will remain incarcerated until such time as the child is.
Ooh, wait. Yeah. See, ladies, y'all have to follow the court order. Quit trying to come up with all these excuses and ways to try to stop the father from being there. And then you'll turn around and use that against him if he wasn't trying to be there himself. So you are trying to make sure the father is not around. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So if CPS and the pediatrician was there with the child, looking at what was going on with that child, I'm pretty sure they would have had the father arrested. I'm pretty sure that. I don't know exactly how everything works. But if it was as bad as mom's trying to make it out to be, I'm pretty sure dad would probably be behind bars right now. But since he's not behind bars, he's sitting in that courtroom. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. So, no matter, ladies, no matter what you think about that man that you laid down and had a baby with, y'all, like y'all love to say, I ain't make this baby by myself. But you sure to love to say, my child, give me my child, when, you know what I'm saying, you don't want the father around. But when you want something from the father, this your baby too, I'm taking care of your child. See what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. It's either one or the other. And this, excuse me, in this case right here, just do the right thing. Now you finna go to jail. Now you finna go to jail for 63 days, at least 63 days. So amount of time, if I understood everything correctly that judge was saying, the amount of time that you kept the child away from the father, it's the same amount of time you're gonna be in jail. So the best thing to do is just co-parent. Just be reasonable co-parents. Because guess what? That child is finna grow up and see everything that's going on. That child finna see that dad fought to be with his kids. Dad didn't give up. Mom, I already know, mom is pumping that child's head with nonsense. I was finna say something else. But mom is popping that child's head with full of nonsense. And when them kids grow up, they're gonna see. They're gonna see. Trust me, I know from experience, they're going to see. Oh yeah. I can tell you that from experience. Or they're gonna be like, wait a minute. Hold up. This ain't adding up. They're gonna ask questions. They're gonna look around. They're gonna find stuff. They're gonna see. And you can't hide it. And especially today's world, you can't hide it. You can't. Dad is there fighting for his kids. So fellas, this is just an incentive for us to go get our kids. That's all that really is. Go get your kids. That's what you need to do, fellas. Go get your kids. Plain and simple, in the discussion. Go and get your kids. Because the courts don't do what they think is best for the kids because they really don't know. They only going by what is said to them and whatever evidence is put in front of them. But fellas, do what you gotta do to get your kids. Because mom is not always the best option for the kids. I'm not saying dad is either. But sometimes the grandparents are. Sometimes auntie and uncle is. Sometimes sister and brother is. But you know your situation. Fight for your kids because your kids are going to see this and then your kids are going to be like, damn, my dad really did love me. Mom just telling me all of this BS for whatever the reason may be. I don't want to say on social media, but you know what I'm getting at. Plain and simple. That's it. Because I can tell you from experience, before my son passed, me and my son was talking. I'm just going to leave it at this. He found out the truth of why me and his mom is not together no more. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't have to say anything. They grow up, they're going to start thinking. They're going to start using their brain. And then they're going to resent you for what you did to them. So ladies, cut that out. I'm telling you, I can speak from experience. Before my son passed, me and him had conversations. Me and him was talking. And I already know, I ain't have to say anything. I already know his mom was telling lies to him and trying to make me be the bad guy and all that stuff. I already know what it was. I'm not stupid. So I ain't say nothing bad about her. I just say, even in my videos here, whenever I bring her up, I just say how she treated me. Things that she did. I ain't call her out her name not once. I ain't call her no kind of derogatory slur. No, nothing. I just talk about how she treated me. That's it. But at the end of the day, excuse me, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, fellas, your kids are going to grow up and they're going to start asking questions. They're going to start wondering what's going on, what happened. Because they want to know their history. They want to know, you know what I'm saying, what to do, what not to do, what to look for, what not to look for, all that crap. They want to know. Hey, it was just like when I was growing up. I knew my dad died of cancer. I knew he died. But when I got a certain age, I started asking my mom more and more questions about my dad. I started finding things out about him. Because when they get in them teenage days, they're going to want to go figure this out. You see what I'm saying? And then, trust me, other family members might come out and say, you know, your dad was not as bad as mom made him out to be. Your dad might have did some crazy nonsense stuff, but he's not as bad as your mom made him out to be. You're going to have family members come out and tell you that. I'm trying to tell you, ladies, don't do it, because in the end, your kids are going to hate you. I'm telling you from experience. That's all I'm going to say. I'm letting you put two and two together. Because I can tell you that from experience. My son came and talked to me, told me what was going on. Yeah. And I just say, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you what it is. This is what happened. Bam. There you go. There you go. What I'm trying to say is this here. Just understand what you're doing. Quit. See, women like do things for their own selfish reasons. They don't want this thing to blow up and make them look bad. Which I never understood that. You can't remain perfect. Nobody is. But they want to make everything look like they did everything right and dad did everything wrong. But when the kids grow up and they start finding out things, however they're going to find out, these days it's social media. It's all over social media. Internet ain't going nowhere. If I found this video, somebody else found it. And somebody going to stumble across it. So, plain and simple, in the discussion, obviously what she tried to do didn't work. Obviously, because I'm pretty sure if it was as bad as CPS made it out, if it was as bad as mom made it out to be, the pediatrician and CPS would have the dad behind bars. So obviously it wasn't as bad as it was, or she was trying to whatever. I'm not going to throw all the allegations out there, but I'm just going by what it seems like to me, that she was trying to do whatever to keep the dad out of the child's life, which a lot of women do. For whatever reason. I'm not saying there ain't no valid reason, because there are, but a lot of women do that. So with all that, So with all that being said, just think about this. Ladies, your kids are going to grow up. Your kids are going to see things for themselves. And you might not like the outcome of that. That's all I'm trying to say.